Hold on a button. Interesting. He cold calls behind, and then the original razor cold calls. Obviously, this is a great flop for us. We're just going to be trying to put in as much money as we can. I hope this guy just jams behind us, and then this guy jams as well. I mean, fuck, this is a flop we should probably be playing pretty cautiously on. So maybe it was a bit better to check here. Fuck. Yeah, we should check there. Then when he jams, he has a harder decision. That's a mistake. That's okay though. Here, limp pot. We flop a pair. Queen 6-4. Just debating on whether I want to go 2/3. Would I ever be checking on this board? Probably. So yeah, I think I want to go 2/3. Okay, we're just giving up. Six is a bit better for him than it is for us. We still have pretty good hand. I think 2/3, 3/4 pot. Bet size makes a lot of sense here. It's just that easy. Okay, he leads. He could certainly have, I guess, like fours. Fours beats us. He could have a better flush. But I think our flush is pretty good. I'm going to choose a sizing that can get called by worse flushes. The queen of clubs, I think we get to bet pretty aggressively here. Caitlin pot, the 9, I think is a pretty good card for us. Like makes it a bit less likely he has a 9. I guess you could still have a hand like 5, 6, or 7s. But I think with a hand like ace-4, I don't think we can fold quite yet. He could have a bunch of bluffs. 4 is probably a good card for us. Probably want to have a flatting range on the button there, but I don't think that's a hand for it. Two. Ace 10 off is a clear open in the spot. Okay, in this board, we're going to be pretty polar. But this hand is good enough. Size-wise, I'd go larger normally, but against two players, I guess keep it reasonable here. Okay. Types of hands as they call them on a flop flip. King X, maybe some 8-jack if we're lucky. Queen Jack, King 10, lots of two-pair hands. He's got some strong hands. He doesn't really have the strongest hands, but we want to build this pot. Do we just go for it here? Does he have enough strong hands? Is he enough strong hands to call a giant bet, or should we just bet like pot? It's better to get called larger size less frequently. Thinking this long, I think he's got a hand like King 10, something along those lines. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Darn. 50 cents. Five, 7 to 0, 5, 7, really? No. 5 deuce suited. He might have 5, 7 suited sometimes. Okay, we open. It's a pretty good board for us, blind versus blind. Going to be betting most of our range on this board, if not all of it. Okay, that card's better for us. None of the draws get there. We get to have some overbets. This is probably one of them. Okay, when he calls the big bet on the turn, could definitely have backdoor, but seems unlikely. Most likely like a queen X. I don't think we can go huge here. He's filtered a bit. The flush came in. The 3 could potentially help him a bit. Queen 10 off, good enough to ISO, probably not against a shorter stack. This is not a board that helps us out a ton. It's very good for us at all. He has all the sets. He's got straights. He's got all kinds of shit on that board. Pair plus straight draw. He's got everything. We do too, but we have a bunch of other shit. 4-5 off. This guy looks like he's really bad, so we're gonna open this hand, but this might even be a little too out of line. We're gonna be pretty cautious on these types of boards out of position, small blind versus big blind. He snap check back. We're gonna be betting here. Okay, now we're just gonna try to get the showdown. Ten-8 off from the buttons a fold. Maybe if I say them out loud, play better. Oh, motherfucker. Okay, now it's gonna open. It's gonna make us defend a bunch tighter usually. It's pretty small. We're getting a good price. And we get 3-bet out of that pot. Probably for the best. Like, you know, I actually like playing this hand here against another gun open. The implied odds are pretty good. Flop could come ace deuce 3, and maybe he's got ace ace or ace king. Obviously, it's like Absurd. Okay, we've got a gutter ball. What happened? I didn't even get to plus 25. Oh, we got a gutter ball, backdoor flush draw. It's a limp pot, so we're not going to be making many waves. Still just have a gutter ball. We'll open this ace, offsuit ace. Not thrilled, but good enough. I don't really like the sizing after two limps. Probably go a little bit bigger, but it's not so bad, I guess. Just not going to get many folds. Wish you would have limped. I was definitely limping in. It's a great flop for Jack 9 spades. We're going to be opening. And ace deuce off is not an open from the cutoff. Okay, we've held a gutter ball. We get cold called or flat called by a guy who's calling very wide. So both of these players are actually calling quite wide. This is a spot where normally I think it's slam dunk check, but I think with these guys calling so wide pre, I think I should just be c-betting pretty wide. Once we get a flop, and I do have like significant range advantage over these guys. Okay, interesting that he raises me. I guess like ace 10, pocket threes, 260 to 9. So yeah, that's like 20%. I do have my gutter ball to the nuts, and there's probably some implied odds there if I get there. Just like that. Okay, he just checks back immediately. So I'm worried he would check back again. So we want to get value. It's around like a weaker ace, maybe. God, we run pure. as I say that, we get queens. Okay, in this spot, ranges are pretty tight. We got to be c-betting fairly selectively. The jack really just demoted our hand quite a bit. We have ace high, which isn't bad. Flush draw is maybe no good. Definitely going to just be checking behind here, checking a lot. He's basically repping 9x or pocket pair. I don't think he's ever folding 9x to a raise. Just let that one go. Against an early position raise. These guys both look like weaker players. I think we just play our hand as a call on this spot. I think there's a lot of implied odds. If we flop a set, we may get just jammed on if we 3-bet by either player, and that kind of sucks. Then we really want to call it off with 10s there. And this flop's just not that great for us, and the original razor's just doing really well. Okay, we called an open, or we got limped. Okay, it got limped. Okay, we're called in 2 spots. We have the ace of clubs, pretty safe board. I think sometimes we could be checking this hand. It's 2 players though. I think we just start to build a pot. Okay, 10's a pretty safe card unless he has like exactly queen 10. We're good. And if he has a queen, we unblock the queen so we can just size up here. What happened here? Limp pot, we flop a flush draw, paired board. We're going to be playing pretty passively in limp pots. I think it makes sense for us to call here. Our flush draw, got a lot of equity. We got an over. Backdoors galore. Can we make our flush? Do we have leads? We probably don't have leads. That's a limp pot, button limped. Maybe we have leads. I don't know. Okay, real interesting. So we got a cold caller. I think we can block here on the end. Yeah, we'll go 3-way, flop a set. It's an all right board for us. The 3-better should be pretty cautious on this board. So they should be betting some of their stronger hands and then some hands like some gut shots and some backdoors maybe. Bets half pot. Half pot's like an awkward sizing. Okay, that makes our lives easier. Oh, 6-3 suited against 2 players. Unknown. Probably not a great player. We're going to be three betting ace king here against a hijack open from the cutoff, and we'll be going. He went 2.5 big, so we'll go up to just over 8. Here's the board we're going to be betting polarized on, and we have a hand that's going to be betting polar. In this 3-bet pot, we definitely have the advantage here, and our hand is good, and we're going to be betting about 60% pot. Here we got called by a bunch of people and didn't flop anything, so we're just going to play our hand. Okay, 7 doesn't really help him. We should still be ahead here. We don't really need over bets because of the stack sizes. 3/4 pot makes it 13, so that'll be 48. It sets us up for an easy value shove on the river. Yes, yeah. Yeah, we can open this hand for sure. Okay, when he checks back, I don't expect him to have very many strong hands. Just trying to think how to maximize here. Like, I think checking, give him a little bit. I don't think I'm ever getting 2 streets of value with this hand anyway. So, not a whole lot to go on here. It's pretty large. We're going to be out of position against 2 players. Our hand is easy to play. Yes. The implied odds are all right because there's two players, but oh shit. Oops, that was a misclick. Here, let's say probably gets bet sometimes. Yeah, I think with the ace kicker, it's definitely bet sometimes. Yeah, the king's a better card for our range, but not really for our hand. I guess we pick up a bit of equity. With a 10 of diamonds, which is nice, but I think we don't really want to play a big pot with this hand, so we'll pot control here. Wow, this was exciting. Shit. He makes it 12. I guess he could have hands like, it's crazy, right? Like, I think we need to have some, he doesn't have ace queen. You'd have to have exactly queen 9 for us to be beat. We have the best 10. We could target, I guess he could have a hand like jack 10 as well. Do we ever get called by a worse 10 if we jam here? That's crazy. What happened there? Queen 6. Fuck happened in that hand? Get his hand. Makes it a pretty good 3-bet. We're gonna size up a little here. So on the flop, you just made it with the gut shot and the 2 hearts. He got called by queen 6 out of double gutter. Probably just 3-bet pot. I think we're just doing fairly well here. We don't have as much showdown value as we'd like. Okay, I expect him to make that call there with a lot of ace highs, some pairs. This turn is just not really that good for us. I guess like our overpairs enjoy the turn. So maybe we'd be betting large with some overpairs. What would be the best? Like if we had a diamond, maybe. I don't think this combo, I think it's really easy to overdo it. And I'm gonna try to be a bit selective here. He checks back. Now I really think he's weighted towards a hand with some type of showdown value. Possibly just ace high. This is kind of like one of the worst hands we could have here. think we can probably simplify to range betting that board. Okay, here we have a gut shot. Not a ton of implied odds. Okay, the ace is better for us. The spade is, I think maybe we already got our overfolds over with on the flop. Here, $3 with not much implied odds. Guess we just let it go. I think we just fold this hand. Five off. Ace eight off will be an open if it gets to us. Huh. Two really awful players here. My hand is just pretty bad. It's like, gonna be tough to get paid on this board though. Maybe I should just be leading. Okay, I think we've got him down to flush draws and aces. He did limp out of the gun, so there's potential that he has a stronger ace than us. So we don't really necessarily want to play a huge pot here. He says we don't have a choice. So you have like ace 10 or ace 9. He's probably got a lot of worse aces as well. Ace 5 suited, hands along those lines. Unfortunately, ace deuce gets there. Do we just like block bet here? Probably just range betting in the spot. Here, we're going to be 3-betting. He went to 4 BB. We'll go to, okay, there's a limper, so 12.5. Okay, Queen 10 against 2 players at the 10 of hearts. 8. This player is really interesting. I mean, he's 80-27 over 15, so. I don't think we really have an option but to just call there. Here, ace high board, no club, 2 players out of position. We're just gonna be playing for fairly cautiously. Okay, so he checks. We pick up a gut shot. We have the heart, 10 of hearts. Can we get value from worse hands in this spot? I would say probably the way this guy plays. So I am actually gonna value bet pretty thin here on the turn. Okay, it's an insanely small size, so we're not folding. Queen on the river. I don't see any reason to think our hand's not good. I think it's quite likely he might have a queen actually, but we'll just go for a decent sized value bet. I plan to fold to a raise, I think. Okay, this is getting kind of worse, but like he's just giving us crazy prices. Like 10 could be better for him. But I mean, 4, we need to be good 1 out of 7 times. Could we block bet here? Is that a thing? No. be expecting him to check back like anything that's not a 10, to be honest. Anything worse than a 10, I should say. Okay, queen's better for me than it is for him. Hands he could be calling my flop bet with would be like some straight draws. I guess he could have some 6x or some ace-5. I think we could still bet as kind of like a bluff protection bet here. Okay, so for him to lead huge, he's basically saying he has a 6 or he has like 7, 8. Just trying to think how he would have played a 6. Like, I suspect he would have raised the turn with a 6. I don't see him ever doing, yeah, I mean, like, I think he raises the turn with a 6. But he's just got a 5. I can't believe he did a 5. Queen, we don't really get to have overbets here, but we get to have big bets. Wow, I can't believe he did over 5. Eight, nine, 10, 2 players. We have a backdoor club draw and a gut shot in 2 overs, but like this board is just connects really, really well with these 2 guys who call my open position. Pretty good card for us. We pick up a ton of equity on that card. But again, our hands, our range here is got to be very cautious. Okay, it's a really tiny bet here. I wonder if we get to have raises. I don't think so. I mean, we block queen jack. Do we get to have raises? I think we got away with one there. Probably don't have raises in that board, in that spot. But I guess if we're called, we have a ton of equity, so can't be like the worst, but can't be good. King, queen of clubs might be better. We're actually doing quite well, I think, on this board, but being out of position and a little bit deep. Let me check. Okay, 10 of diamonds. Another card that's we got to be cautious on. Any bets here? I could see him doing this with a diamond, a large diamond. I don't know if he'd be doing this with like 8x. But I've checked twice, so he could be doing this fairly wide. And we do have second pair, decent kicker. He's got a lot of heads that sort of center around 6 and 7, so we're gonna be a bit cautious here too. Can you let this hand go to 1 bet, 2/3 pot? Does he ever check back a king? Probably not. So he's kind of saying he's a flush or he doesn't. $358, so 4. Here we make a pair. This guy lamped pre. It's really, really wide ranges versus other really wide ranges. It's a bad card for us. It's probably a 3-bet sometimes. Oh, weird that he just cold called. His ranges probably like some high cards, some pocket pairs. We're dominating all the aces. This might be just a check. Guess like a hand like jacks would be doing this, but like wouldn't jacks have ace 10, maybe 9-10 suited somehow? I don't have like a lot to go on here. I thought that's a weird sizing. There's flush draws. You have a hand like queen jack suited. Okay, that's a really, really bad card for us. Yikes. Did I have like ace king there or something? So we've already got a limper. It's got a big stack. It's just like if I call, I get to play with him. Oof, close. Wow, this guy's playing very tight through 50 hands. Get to raise his hand sometimes. It's RNG this thing. Two. That's not gonna do it. This guy's kind of a legend. Okay, he checks behind. The queen's a better card for me than it is for him. I think we can start betting here. I guess we give him to, what hands do we give him to fold? Like even like 9-10's not doing so bad, right? Okay, here we pick up a flush draw, but it's a double paired board. We're just okay, he overbets on the end. We have the heart. Your hand's just a bit too weak. Like it's pretty hard to say what he could have. He could definitely have a 7. He could have a 6. Okay, here, King of Hearts, King Jack around the 10. I think we can have some check raises on this board. He's probably betting range, and I doubt he's defending correctly. Okay, we're going to be betting range on this board. We pick up some equity, and that's a very blank turn, so we'd have some overbets. Okay, and we get there. Bro, appreciate that. He also had the flush. Okay, we open under the gun and get 3-bet by the big blind. Should be pretty tight. We're going to be in position post. I think this spot it makes sense to actually have some calls with ace king. Okay, queen 4-4. I think he definitely has hands like queens here, so gotta be careful. But I think like ace king high is definitely good enough to continue. Did I open it? What the fuck happened there? 9-3 suited. The rake probably a bit too loose. Do that by the button. I think we're definitely just 4-betting here. Out of position. He made it 9 BB. We'll make it 20. We'll be out of position, so we'll go up a bit. Okay. This is a spot where we just want to get it in with queens. I don't really have any information on this guy. Queen's good ace king. Maybe we hold. No, we don't. Rip. Here, 21 bucks left. Ace on the river. Dirty. Not really dirty. Just sucks Q on a river. Here, I think, is a big bet board. Interesting turn. We have he's filtered towards ace highs, I suppose, and flush draws when he calls. That's unique. Why would he do this? Why would he do this? He maybe makes an ace. Okay, we're probably range betting on this board. We get some protection, maybe some value from some ace highs. Does have a hand like ace queen, we're just doing pretty fucking well. Now we really hope he has a hand like ace queen. Make it 10, it'll be 33 with about that much behind. Okay, it's about as safe as run out as we can imagine. Ace nine, I think we're gonna be betting selectively, and I think this hand is too merged. That's an interesting turn because a lot of hands improve a lot, but we make two pair. So we can't go crazy, but we can definitely bet on the larger-ish side, 2/3. All right. Three bets are typically strong here. Three bet out of the small blind. I guess it gets a cutoff is decently strong. We're suited. We're easily dominated, and we're deep. Being deep and being that we are suited, and it's not a huge three bet, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call. Just proceed cautiously. Okay, when he just bets, he just bombs it. I don't think we can continue with just ace high. You want the backdoor flush draw? Feels like an overpair type hand. Maybe I should have thought about that one a bit more. Talk myself into calling with the worst of it, and then turning the flush draw, breaking the river, putting in a big bluff. So weak player in a big blinds, we're going to be opening wide. So we're opening this hand. This is a tough one. I think it's worth a bet though. The reason I'm saying it's tough is like this board is sort of great for the button, and the small blind doesn't hate it either. They both have 9-10, pretty high frequency. I don't think I'm opening 9-10 off, so like I only have it 4 times. But I do have top pair, decent kicker, and there's a fish in the pot. Pick up some showdown value. Let's take this thing to showdown. Why would he wait to bet until now, unless he improved? quite large open, makes me 3-bet tighter. What hands would I normally be 3-betting? And is this one of them? This is probably a mistake. Need to be 3-betting tighter when he goes large because I have to go so large. And I'm opening myself up. Okay, ace of diamonds. This board shouldn't really interact with him. Shouldn't really interact with me either, but we have the overpairs and we have the ace of diamonds. Like, I don't think he really has 8-9 suited ever. I guess he could. Okay, he's got 8s. I probably have 8s too. The board is getting a little dicey. Well, we stepped in it. That's a blunder, 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 blunder. What would you do with a blunder ball? King 10 suited is probably sometimes a 3-bet. If I roll over an 80 and 3-betting, nope. It's probably not. What was it? Under the gun open. And then cut off strategy. Oh yeah, look at that. King 10 is a raise. Oh, fuck me. King 10 suited is a 3-bet. Wow, we're doing surprisingly well here. Okay, he's doing pretty well on this board out of the big blind when I open so small. It's really playing cautiously. Aces makes a good check back, I think. Don't really need protection. We have a straight draw. continue to play sort of cautiously on this board. That sucks, kind of ruins our hand. All right, gonna start wrapping this up soon. How many hands we play? Not that many. Fuck. Less than 400. We got 12 more minutes. There's a big ISO. Okay, this board, I have small bets. Gotta be selective. We're out of position. We have the queen of clubs. I think this makes a fine bet. Okay, that's a pretty good card for us. I guess we need to be playing selectively on that card. Betting selectively on that card. Really just wanted to rip it. Okay, that's interesting. Do we think we have any fold equity here? What types of hands is he betting $5 with? Jack 10. I don't think he really has Jack 10 ever. Should have probably bet here. Once he checks back the flop, he's super capped. Jack's like a bit better for him, I guess. It kind of improves his hand a bit. But once he checks back the flop, like I think he's even probably betting a jack when the 10 comes. So I don't mind this. And if we do get called, we have the king and then 4 queens. Queen jack 5. Gonna raise now. Probably should have raised the turn. Definitely should have raised the turn. What the fuck was I doing? That's right. All right, let's start to wrap this up.